Let's move on to trades, offer sheet, free agency to fill in spots in your team.
Well, you got it all covered there right away.
Well, no, but I'm asking you, there are some aggressive GMs out there, and there's GMs that like to kind of see things develop a little bit more. This summer's interesting because of teams that are in cap hell or cap jail right now. You got teams, a lot of RFAs that are high-end RFAs available. You have some cap room. Where do you feel are some of the maybe tools that you can use as a general manager to maybe get one or two pieces to help your team and your roster?
Let me take this one, Jason.
I'm kidding. Go ahead. Go ahead.
To help the whiteboard.
He's got it. He's got it and stuff. No, look, it's these teams that you talk about in cap hell, it's eventually where we want to get to. Not because you're in a cap hell, but because you have a lot of talented players in your organization, and that's where you look at it. Some of these teams that are in financial restraints, it's because they have a lot of very talented players. We've tried to, over the last couple of years, utilize our cap space to our advantage and bringing in more skilled players to our group, and that's what we'll continue to look at. And I think it's going to be a very interesting market just because of so much uncertainty with the RFA market on what's going to happen out there. I do think it could freeze up a little bit of the possible trade market and also just the unrestricted market, just because teams don't know how much they're going to have to spend and how are these contracts going to play out. If you go long term, are the numbers going to be very high? You go shorter term, you certainly have a little bit more space to work with. But there's a lot of unknown going on from that standpoint. But we're certainly in a lot of dialogue. We do have, in our situation, short term, we certainly have cap space. With our young players, you always have to look in the future too, and you just want to make sure you're making the right choices there.
So yesterday the buy-sell trade was what, 2 or more trades this summer what you're talking about, the
would you buy that, Jason? If we did a buy-sell trade right now, there will be 2 or more trades by the buy-sell trade. Well, don't answer that. Don't answer.
I'm open to bribes from you guys. So if you guys want to help me out a little bit, and then whatever money you're putting on, we can make some.
Give me a couple alumni tickets to a game this year.
There we go.
A buff chicken
for some info.
A buff chicken at Jim Steakout. I can make that happen too. I owe these guys about 8 of them. So I would just put it on the list. No, but the reason I'm asking is because you're saying that the RFA market may freeze what trades could happen or where the UFAs may go. So do you expect at the trade to be a little bit slower when it considering trades and player movement because of what July 1st has in store for teams?
To be honest, Marty, it's difficult to assess. Like, look, is there a lot of communication going on out there? Yeah, but I think you see whether the trade deadline, you see leading up to the draft on July 1st, there's always a lot of, like, the way things have worked. Obviously, we made the trade later in the summer with Jeff Skinner, but that doesn't really happen that much throughout the year. It seems to be so focused on improving your team at 2 spots, the trade deadline and July 1st. So there's certainly a lot of discussion going on there. Predicting, hey, is there going to be more trades or anything like that? I think that's always difficult to handle. And I talk about the unrestricted market certainly being, I think that sort of that second or third tier, it might be frozen up a little bit, but teams are always searching for higher skill talent. And you look at I don't think there's a lot of talk about this unrestricted market. I think there's certainly some very talented players at the high end that will get very good contracts and very good offers out there. I think that second and third tier, it could be something that slows down a little bit just because of the unknown of the restricted market.